did order a motor for this, but it hasn't arrived. I mean, the seller I ordered that from said it would take a week to get that motor, and it's been soon 3 weeks. So I mean, I can't wait anymore. We need to get that sheeting up the ceiling now, so I can get proper lighting in here. Little Blue has to stand this one up, so we're just gonna use this. So I'm gonna pull this back so it's not in the way. Just a little bit. So the parking brake is on. This is tensioning the parking brake. my trowel just broke. It just came off there. Huh. I still can use this little knob here. I mean, I guess it works, but yeah. Can't use this light with this camera. Alright, let's see what's wrong here. So it still works doing it like that. But yeah, probably just the ice build up here that broke that thing. Metal first time. It looks like it's just broke off this plastic tab here. Everything else seems fine. Yeah, it just broke off. Guess we can fix that. I mean, this still works. Just this thing it broke off from. And that's in there. It's supposed to be stuck there and then.
never put these up, but that's the issue for summer.
So my plan, the summer that was to get this out of here. And well, my father was supposed to getting this started again. But I never had the time doing that, so they started themselves, my uncle and my father, to get this out. It's an old engine used to power this sawmill. That's here. That's been sitting for a while. So they're gonna get this working again, that's the plan. It's gonna be interesting seeing if they do that. I know there was some kind of crack in the cylinder in this. I think that was the problem, but otherwise I think it worked when they actually left this, when they stopped using this sawmill. This is the, it's raw oil motor. I mean, it's kind of cool, oil engine like this. They got a real nice sound to it. This is some Danish bear. I wonder if there's any date on this bottle. No, not really. Doesn't see any date there. Is there any date here? We've got some old jacket. I think this is kind of from the same date as when they last used this sawmill here. So yeah, some guy hung this here for the last time, and then it's been sitting here. Got some stitches and stuff there. I don't know. Kind of easy getting nostalgic when seeing stuff like this. Oh yeah. All right, let's go back to the garage. So I'm gonna start with the cables for the lights here. The only problem now when the sheeting is up all the way is that it's a lot of echoes in here. So I really need to solve that. It's not really possible to speak in here right now. It's just a complete echo. So this is for tensioning the wire here. So I guess we could put this first on. I kind of needed that. So, okay. So I think the screw is gonna get, this is gonna break before this breaks.
So this was supposed to sit in the roof like this, yes, so yeah, just to let the cable rest on this so it doesn't flop around. So.
What's that? This kind of tension. So we got almost all the sheeting up here. It's just that spot left. And my friend also did this window here. So I think that turned out nice. Well, okay, so I gotta get correct lighting in about a week so I can get rid of that cheap LED light. That thing is really interfering with the GoPro here. It's impossible to film with this, getting good quality out of it. Since, yeah, well, kind of low light. It's a good building light though, but for camera, not good. But yeah, anyway, so my friend did this. So I went and made this. So these are going up with the wire there. So I couldn't hang it. So I couldn't put that thing there since that thing was already done. So I can just screw it from the outside in the wall there. So I gotta hang those up. There are more sheeting on order, so they should arrive next week. When I'm finished with the wires here, I'm gonna try, I think we're gonna fix this. So I'm gonna go and get some concrete and fix this imperfections here. Some other thing I have for the echo in here right now, before getting some kind of interior, is that I think I'm gonna try hanging up insulation in the wires there when all are up, seeing if I get an improvement in sound in here. kind of pre-drilled this. I did find a drill, so I guess I should have done that on the other side too. But I mean, the screws are kind of rough. So. Yes, I gotta fasten the supports here. So they're just gonna sit like this. So I just gonna put in the sheet. It's not really much here. It's just so it doesn't sag that much. Seeing the echo in here, if it's going down or not, or if it doesn't really matter. Feels like it's a little better, but still bad, really bad. So I'm gonna, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna return that lift. I'm gonna do. Right, so I just left my lift there. Or I just returned the lift I borrowed. So now I'm gonna go and get some concrete. So I went to the supply store looking for some concrete there, but they didn't have anything that was a fit for my purpose of use. The guy told me that it would just crumble. The part I'm gonna do is really, I mean, it's just small spots there. And if I drive over that, it's just going to crumble. So I don't know, I need to look that up. If there's something I can use, or if it's an idea using something. It's 4:30 now in the afternoon and the sun is still up. It's really nice having the days being longer again. It's not long until that thing is not even going to go down. The best thing with the northern summer, the sun is up 24/7. No concrete, but at least I got myself a kebab pizza. So my friend had some concrete and primer. I gotta try using there.
Right around. So this is just a primer you're supposed to. Put it here so I can well, something like that. Now when it starts drying, you can kind of just go with the glove here. And fix it like this.
Try pulling that motor out there. I'm gonna use this to pull it up.
Precis ska den gå igenom här. Det mätte jag ju efteråt. Jag klarar någon sitt. Kanske måste ta motorsågen och pensla till. Stopp! Så.
gonna break it with my machine going down here, and he's gonna pull it. That's the plan. Ja.
Tackar eller?
Vad har vi för klartid på den här? När kan jag återkomma och filma den i fungerande skick?
Ja, men det ska bli, och det ska bli kaffe också. Jag tänkte bjuda in hela byn.
Hela byn ska få
Ja,
höra.
då får komma på kaffe och höra den. Det är så mycket barndomsminne för dem.
Är det det?
Alla har hört den här när de var liten.
Ja. Är det här vattnet här, Rönne?
Jo, det är som kylrimmar.
Är det hampare?
Ja, men. Jag tror fan det är original sedan 1918.
Det här är en liten tratt då. Med sil. Det här är ju raritetsgrejer.
Det är ja.
Ja.
Alltså det är så jävla roligt att det är din farfars farfar som har köpt det med sin bror. Har massa bensin och olja här. Så det är 1 liter bensin och 1 liter tvåtaktsolja.
Ja, så den får gotta sig.
Ja. Sätter så här bara. Du ska ju värma med gasol den där. När du får varm den så börjar du tända på kompressionen. Du har såna här eldningsluckor här. Den här ska ju skruvas fast så att den håller grejerna på plats. Sen eldar du på här. Så du får heta.
Vi återkommer till sommaren och hör den gå.
Ja. Det är skitcoolt.
Okay, so I'm gonna return back to that motor if they get it running. Probably to the summer then. All right, so this has started to dry now. You can see some kind of, well, there's gonna be color differences like this. I guess I could use some sandpaper and just sand this a little, give it somewhat more of a shine or something like that to get that to blend more with this concrete here. I'm still gonna let it dry. It's not really that hot on the floor, so it hasn't, maybe it hasn't dried properly yet, so I'm still gonna leave it to dry a little bit. But while doing that, I'm gonna install the motor for the lift. So I finally got my motor. I had to order this from another company, so the company I first ordered that from couldn't deliver, so that's why it took so long to get this thing. Yeah, hopefully it's the same. $250 amps, and we got 4.5 kilowatts of power in this. It's actually really strong. I thought it was smaller. I thought it was something like a little bit over 3 kilowatts, since I couldn't read this label on the other motor. But yeah, it looks to be the same, and the rotation is clockwise, so that's the correct rotation on this. Awesome. I've been waiting to get this working again. I really like my little blue lift. So this is the old one here. do look pretty similar. I ended up paying 650 euros for this. I haven't got the bill yet, but I think that's without tax and shipping, so tax and shipping will be excluded in that price. So I'm gonna change my special fuse I made here. This is kinda like, well, probably over 1000 amps. My plan with this was just cutting this a little bit here, making that a usable fuse, since I hadn't a new one of those. But now I do, so I'm gonna replace that. Touches that. Okay, let's. Oh, this is so good seeing that work again. Oh, this is so fast compared to the other one I borrowed. But yeah, I gotta get rid of that beeping sound. I wonder where to hide that thing. Is it here maybe? Okay, so I should take those off. No, it's down there. Yeah, it has to be from this. So there's a note in here. Make sure alarm is in working order before operating vehicle. We kind of opened this to do the exact opposite to that. So that is out. I was gonna put it here on charge. This on and see how it looks. So that is good. On today's agenda, we're gonna install the lighting in the roof and we're gonna get the heat pump going.
Sätta 35. Ja, det blir ett stank. Ja. Hur länge tror du att de sätter på det?
Jag kan ta tag i. Right, so these lights are just installed like this temporarily here. So that's a big improvement. Now I got proper lights and heat in this garage. Feels like an end of an era putting this in again. So if you want some specification about the light, so this is just a picture of the garage itself, and here is the layout for where the lights were put. So this room isn't here, so all the lights are in line with each other. The lights I went with are 110 watts. They got a Kelvin temperature of 4000. I also have a coloring rendering index on these lights. It's 90 plus. We got a total of 180,000 lumens here and 1.3 kilowatts of light. So the calculations for the lumen here are around the middle 850 and on the sides here 750 approx. So yeah, that's a spec about the lights. And I think I paid 160 euros maybe per light. So I got two cables hanging there. One is there and one is there. That's where the fans are coming that I'm gonna install to push down the heated air. Let's go have a look at how the lights are sitting there. So this is how the lights are installed. So they just hang in a little. So if you want to take that out, you just remove that notch. So it's a really clean install, installing it on a wire like that. So I had the heat pump running now for, I don't know, a little bit over 15 hours. And something I really have to start looking at right now is ventilation for this. The thing right now is that everything is starting to dry up, so there's a lot of condensation. You can see it's just pouring water down here. Good thing is I have a big door I can open to let in some fresh air, taking away some condensation. But yeah, I really need a ventilation system for this. So I should start looking at that. Yeah, if anyone has any tips on a good ventilation system for this building, would be appreciated. Okay, let's have a look at this heat setup I got. So I did a complete video about installing this, pulling out those hoses to the lake, and yeah, so there's a kind of long video about this complete install of the heat system for this garage. So yep, you can see how much moisture is in the air right now. It's just iced up. So I gotta cover this. It's just that I did run out of tape here, so I gotta buy some more of that. It's a thick layer of ice. So this liquid right now is -2, sending back. Looking at some spec on this. Okay, so this system has been running for like a day now. So you can see here, it's pumping in liquid that's +1 degree, taking energy out of that and sending back liquid that's -2. And I believe these values are gonna be a little better next year when I get the hose installed correctly there. Outside temperature is 1+ right now. That's not really correct. The sun is starting to come out now and it's heating the actual sensor there. I'm gonna have to move that. I'm just waiting for the cable railing to get done. So my aim temperature in this garage is actually 18 degrees. And here we got hot water is off. Here we can check the energy. So total energy consumed since this was started is 289 kilowatts. And here pretty much, so this says, well this is in Swedish now, but this says free energy. I'm not really a fan of that word, free energy. Paid kind of a lot for the system. So what this number means is that 81% of this has been produced by the heat consumed from the lake. Let's see if we can see something more. Effectiveness. So generated energy in total, 289 kilowatts. And how much they're taken from the actual grid is 55 kilowatts, I guess. Haven't really looked that much at this yet, so I guess I can answer some questions I got in the previous video about this installation here. One question I got a lot is just the legality of this. So the thing I did is pretty much that I sent in a request to the local government saying I want to use surface water to heat this building. And they just ask, what kind of system are you gonna use? What kind of hose? What kind of liquid in the hoses? Just some stuff about the system itself. And then it took like 2 weeks and then approved. So yeah, the system is actually completely legal to use here. Another question I got is, why do I not put glycol in the system? So my initial thought when building the system was that I'm gonna have glycol in it, so in a power outage or something like that, the system can't freeze. But then I started to think a little bit more about that, and even if there is a power outage here, it's gonna take a long time. This slab contains so much concrete and steel, so to cool this down, it's gonna take a long time doing so before any pipes start to freeze. And I'm never going to leave this system closed off in the winter. I always going to have heat here. So I also think in the future I'm gonna build a backup system, have a generator standing here, so if something happens I can just fire that up and get some heat in here. So that's not a problem as I see it. It's just also when it comes to glycol in a system like this, is if you need to redo something or you're gonna expand or draw new lines and stuff like that, it's kind of nice having clean water in that. It's kind of messy handling glycol. So and there's also more energy in pure water compared to glycol. I haven't crunched the numbers on that though, but I know glycol can't handle as much energy as clean water can. So I haven't really backfilled everything properly since winter came kind of quick when I started doing this. So I'm not at optimal temperatures here. I'm gonna get that up next winter, I'm pretty sure about that. But I guess we can go out and check the actual temperature in the water. See how cold the water is if we drill down. hoses are going somewhere here. So this is showing 3.1 degrees Celsius there. And I mean, it's a cheap thermometer. I'm not really sure how correct this is. How long can this be? Well, it's under the ice, that's for sure. So I gotta go closer to shore, see how the temperature is there. Should be really shallow here. Yeah, I can feel the bottom with this already. Just take a temperature in this goo here. So I did push this stick a little further down there, and it shows 4.9 degrees. Yeah, so 5 degrees in the bottom sediment there. So that's some good values. Yeah, I think this actually stores a lot of heat if you really get down in the goo there. So I mean, if I let that hose, it's gonna sink in quite good in the bottom goo. So I'm expecting kind of good values when everything here is in order. So yeah. Alright, so the plan is to get this engine out of here.